There's a particular kind of loneliness that doesn't make any sense from the outside. You're not isolated. You have people, friends, family, maybe a partner, co-workers who like you well enough. Your phone has names in it. And yet, in the middle of all of it, you feel profoundly, quietly alone. Sometimes you feel it most sharply in a room full of people. Sitting at a table, everyone laughing, and a strange distance opens up inside you, like you're watching the evening through glass. If you felt that, you're not broken, and you're not ungrateful. You've just bumped into one of the most misunderstood truths about being human. So, tonight, let's talk about it honestly. The loneliness that has nothing to do with how many people are around you. Here's the first thing to understand. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It's the absence of being known. You can be surrounded by company and still feel utterly alone because the people near you are close to a version of you. The easy version, the agreeable one, the one who's doing fine, but not to the real one underneath. Proximity is not the same as connection. You can share a room, a meal, even a bed with someone and still feel that no one in your life actually sees what's happening inside you. And that's the ache. It isn't no one is here. It's no one here knows me. Those are completely different kinds of empty, and we confuse them constantly. We try to fix the second one with more of the first. More plans, more socializing, more noise. And we walk away from a packed evening somehow lonelier than when we arrived. Because we were surrounded the whole time and still unseen. So if you've been telling yourself you should feel less lonely because you have people, that was never the cure. The cure was never quantity. It was depth. And depth is much rarer and much more frightening than we like to admit. Let's go a little deeper, because there's a reason this kind of loneliness is so common, and it starts with something quiet that almost everyone does. We hide the parts of ourselves we think would not be accepted, and then we feel unseen for hiding. Think about it. The fear underneath your loneliness is rarely, no one will be near me. It's if they saw the real me, the messy thoughts, the insecurity, the strange inner world, they might pull away. So, to protect ourselves from that, we show the safe parts, the competent parts, the parts that don't ask too much. We perform "I'm okay" so well that people believe it. And then we sit inside that performance, watching everyone relate warmly to a version of us that isn't quite real, and we feel the loneliest of all. Because being liked for a mask is its own special kind of alone. Part of you knows they're not actually reaching me. They're reaching who I'm pretending to be. And for many of us, this started early. Somewhere along the way, you learned that certain parts of you were welcome and others weren't. Maybe big feelings were too much for the people who raised you. Maybe you were praised for being easy, low maintenance, the one who never needed much. So you learned, quietly, to bring the acceptable parts and leave the rest at the door. It kept the peace then, but the habit followed you into every room since. And now, you do it automatically, even with people who might actually have room for all of you. You just never tested whether they did. This is the quiet trap. The very thing we do to avoid rejection, hiding, is the exact thing that guarantees the loneliness. You cannot be deeply known and fully hidden at the same time. The armor that keeps the hurt out also keeps the connection out. They use the same door, and it compounds over time. The longer you perform fine, the harder it becomes to drop it, because now there's a gap between who people think you are and who you actually are. And that gap feels too wide and too risky to cross. So you keep smiling, you keep saying, "I'm good, you." And the realest things about you, the fears, the longings, the 2 a.m. thoughts, go unspoken, sometimes for years. Not because no one would care, but because you never let anyone close enough to find out. There's also a kind of loneliness that comes not from hiding, but from depth itself. Some people feel things more intensely, think more deeply, notice more than the people around them. And if that's you, you might have spent your whole life feeling slightly out of step, like everyone else got a manual for casual, easy connection that you somehow missed. You crave real conversation, the kind that goes somewhere, and instead you get weather and small talk, and you leave feeling hungry for something you can't quite name. And let me be careful here, because this isn't about being better than anyone. Depth isn't superiority, and the people who enjoy lighter, easier connection aren't shallow. It's simply a difference in what fills you. Some people are genuinely nourished by the easy back and forth of everyday company, and if you're not, that's not a verdict on them or on you. It only means you have to be a little more intentional about finding the depth you need instead of waiting for it to arrive on its own in the small talk. It rarely does. If that's you, hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive, too intense, too deep. You are simply someone who needs a deeper kind of connection than the surface offers, and surface connection will always leave you lonely, no matter how much of it you collect. You don't need more people. You need a few of the right ones. The ones you can be fully yourself around, without translating, without shrinking, without performing. Even one such person can dissolve years of loneliness, and their absence is felt even in a crowd of 100. And then there's the world we live in now, which is strange in a way humans have never faced before. We are more connected than any generation in history, and lonelier than almost any before us. We have 1,000 ways to reach each other, and fewer moments of actually being reached. A screen can deliver the feeling of contact, the little notification, the quick reply, the heart on a photo, without any of the substance of it. It's connection flavored, but it doesn't nourish. It's like trying to live on the smell of food. You can scroll through 100 people's lives and end the night feeling more alone than if you'd spoken to no one at all, because you watch connection happening all evening without being in any of it. So let's talk about what actually helps, because this is the part that matters, and it's gentler than you might fear. The first thing is simply to understand what you're actually hungry for. Not more company, not more plans, but to be known, to have at least one place where you don't have to perform. Once you name that correctly, you stop trying to fix deep loneliness with shallow busyness, and you start looking for the real thing. And the real thing begins with a small, frightening act. Letting one person see something true. Not everyone. Not all at once. Just one trusted person. One real thing. The next time someone asks how you are, and you feel the automatic, "I'm fine" rising, pause and tell one layer of the truth instead. "Honestly, I've been struggling a bit lately." That's it. That single sentence is a door. Most loneliness persists, not because no one would meet us, but because we never give anyone the chance. Connection only happens after someone goes first. And it can be you. Yes, it's a risk. Some people won't know what to do with the real you. And that's information, not rejection. It just tells you they aren't one of your people. But some will lean in. Some will quietly exhale and say, "Me too," because they've been performing fine right alongside you, just as lonely, waiting for someone brave enough to drop the act first. Vulnerability is what gives other people permission to be real. You going first is a gift to everyone in the room who was also pretending. And you don't always need new people for this. Often the connections you already have are simply running shallow, and they can go deeper. Be the one who asks the real question instead of the polite one. Instead of, "How was your weekend?" try, "How are you actually doing these days?" When someone says something true, follow the thread. Ask the gentle next question instead of letting it pass. Most people are quietly longing for someone to go one layer deeper with them, and almost no one does. You can be that person, and the depth you offer has a way of coming back to you. And here's something else worth knowing. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude, and learning it changes everything. Loneliness is feeling disconnected from others. Solitude is being at peace in your own company. And strangely, the people who can be alone without aching are often the ones who connect most deeply, because they're not coming to others starving, desperate to be filled. They come whole and offer connection instead of demanding it. So part of the cure for loneliness is, paradoxically, learning to be a good companion to yourself. To sit with yourself on a quiet evening and not need to escape it. Because here's a truth we avoid. If you abandon yourself all day, ignoring what you feel, overriding what you need, never once checking in with your own heart, then of course, you feel alone. You've left the one person who's always there. Some of that 2 a.m. loneliness isn't that no one is with you. It's that you aren't even with you. And the relationship that every other relationship is built on is the one you have with yourself. So start there, gently. Notice what you feel instead of rushing past it. Speak to yourself with some kindness. Spend a little time in your own company without a screen to numb it. As that relationship warms, the desperate edge of loneliness softens, and the connections you do have start to feel like enough, because you're no longer asking other people to rescue you from yourself. And then, slowly, let yourself be known. Choose the few who feel safe, and show them a little more of the real you, one honest sentence at a time. Trade 10 shallow connections for one true one. Stay a few minutes longer in the conversation that's actually going somewhere. Put the phone down and be fully in one real moment with one real person. That's where the loneliness finally ends, not in being surrounded, but in being seen. You were never lonely because something was wrong with you. You were lonely because you're human. And humans are built for a depth of connection that the modern world makes surprisingly hard to find. The ache you feel isn't a flaw. It's a compass. It's pointing you toward the thing you actually need, to be known and to know yourself. So tonight, if that quiet distance opens up in you again, don't be afraid of it. Let it remind you what you're really looking for, and take one small step toward it. One honest word, one real moment, one act of being a little more yourself. You are more reachable than you feel, and the connection you're aching for begins the moment you let yourself be seen. Take care of your mind. This was Inners. I'll see you in the next one.